have not felt a day this heavy in a long time.
The thing is like Americans have been through several presidents being assassinated.
Mm.
Um, but like when MLK got assassinated, like that fundamentally changed the dialogue
Yeah, I
for like,
feel
the last 50 years of America or 60, whatever it's been.
I feel like this too will kind of fundamentally change things. I feel like part of the heaviness I think I'm feeling, and I think a lot of people are feeling that I saw today. Of course, I do live in a very right wing state, and I'm sure there were a few Charlie Kirk fans out and about. Like, I guess I should mention for the broadcast too. So I work approximately 10 minutes from UVU. So I was on like the local police scanner listening to shit, and like I'm just like, oh shit, they're doing house to house searches in backyards, 1 block away from me. This is cool. All right, I know what it feels like to be a member of Boston. But shit, man. I guess the guy is actually still at large.
Yeah,
Yeah. So there's all these
he's in your
videos.
hood.
Yeah, he's in my hood, man. He's literally around here.
There's a decently accurate sniper in your hood
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah. Yeah. We feel safe.
You're just lucky that your store has CCTV
Oh my
exonerating.
god. Yeah, no, like that's I was thinking about like, oh, what if they're coming for me and they pin it on me? Oh, I was on CCTV all day. Like I made a
You better get copies. No, get copies of the footage from today around the time of the assassination. Send it to a friend
No, dude, I was in touch with so much
so
like
they
lost.
can't.
I felt
Yeah.
like a minor privately hired disaster coordinator today because I was in touch with like my boss who was off and our district manager and the head of like loss prevention for the western side of my company, like on the western US, like he deals with everything west of the Mississippi. And and one of the fucking VPs actually I talked to at the very end of the day. So God, where the fuck was I going with this? What were we talking about before this? I'm sorry. I had to have a beer when I got home, and it's I'm already a little hazy. But oh, okay.
You're talking about being like a disaster coordinator or exonerating
Oh yeah,
yourself.
exonerating me. So I talked to all of these people like over the phone, like with my voice, so they know I was like in the store. So no, yeah, yeah. See, I'm not even worried about this that much that I can't even like remember that I'm trying to give an alibi. But no, like we were dead too, like all day. Like what I can really can't give too much more away without somebody being able to look it up. But
Mhm.
we were just dead all day. The whole area around UVU was dead all day because there's just like, yeah, this dude might be still around hiding. You should shelter in place. And I was
Oh,
like,
I mean, it's like I don't I don't want to be out and about
yeah.
necessarily in
So
the hood.
like all of my employees, like we're all kind of like reacting like what's going on. And I'm just sitting there and I'm just like, I have one gun. It's a revolver. It's in my truck. I didn't bring anything else with me at all. I have 4 people on the sales floor and another like 5 or 6 in the shop. There's one door. And I'm just like, if this dude is like running through neighborhoods, the chances are low that he's gonna run in our direction just because there's so many people and like, oh wow, a dude all dressed in black tactical gear just ran across this major road downtown in front of 50
Yeah, but
people.
that's the thing. Like, you don't want to. Or it seems like they're sophisticated, and we'll like figure this out as things go on. But it's like with Luigi and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah,
it's like don't be wearing the exact stuff you were caught on film
shooting the person in.
shooting the person with. And it's like they have like some like blurry footage of like somebody in like all black, like up
Yeah.
on like a parking structure.
So
that they
it's
think might be the
it's the
shooter.
building of like the engineering
Did,
school.
did we get out of the pre-show, by the way, or are we?
Oh no,
Oh, yeah,
we're still in pre-show.
yeah,
Like we're
whatever.
we're
Or
broadcasting.
I just like the things, not like just
Oh, okay.
the pre-show thing.
Oh, and my audio input is just working. That's good. Okay.
We had to get lucky
We had to get lucky
one
once.
time.
I think, like, today
Something had to go our way.
everyone's like, all right, man, today, after everything, no technical errors. Just today. Just today. Oh, shit. So, yeah. I mean, it's funny, too, the title of the fucking, well, I'll make a joke about the episode title after the intro, I guess.
Dude,
But, like,
you picked that this morning. You picked that this morning, like.
and I'll
early
I'll
this morning.
explain why later. Man, for a second I guess I just had Apollo's dodgeball in my hand. I had no idea. So fuck it. Let's go to the main show, everybody. Let's kick it off. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 186, which I titled this morning, It is Evident That Something is Bound to Happen, or Something's Bound to Happen. Well, guys, my bad.
Can the happening stop?
Yeah, like, we're team nothing ever happens, and, like, here's the thing, we're all still going to work tomorrow, but, oh shit, man, this is, we bet on black and it was red all the way. Black evens, red on! Ah, fuck, alright. Oops. I picked that title because when I was working out yesterday, on my playlist are a bunch of Clutch songs, and one of the Clutch songs is Binge and Purge, and part of the song is, based on all of the previous events, it was evident that something's bound to happen. And it's like the wind up in the song to like the song getting really rowdy at the end, and like it's supposed to be like the mosh pit like destroys itself. But it was stuck in my head, and admittedly I was thinking about the poor Ukrainian girl that got stabbed on and died on the subway car. That's honestly what was on my mind up until that morning, because like her face was fucking everywhere, man. Like, it was
like every other post, you know?
Yeah, and, like, unfortunately, like, screenshots of the fucking video with her cowering after she's stabbed, and she doesn't, like, I don't really want to, like, get descriptive.
No, you don't realize that, like, you adrenaline just goes and covers all that up. Like, you don't realize that you're bleeding to death at the moment.
Exactly. And, like, that's more along the lines of what I was thinking of, because I had seen so many people who don't normally even get that politically active sharing that and just being like, this is fucked up. Like, she came over here to escape a fucking war and she gets stabbed to death by some scholar on the fucking subway. And this is an individual, too, that had been released, I don't know, several times and was, like, clearly schizophrenic and had called the cops saying that he had been, like, injected with some weird microchip material that was, like, getting him controlled by the CIA or some weird shit. Like, I don't know exactly, but the dude was nuts. And they knew he was nuts. And some activist judge just let him out. Because, you know.
Well, okay. Do you know the whole story on that judge? Or do you know any background on that judge?
A little bit. I know she also does she, like, either own or, like, co-own, like, a recovery center for these kinds of individuals who, like, charge the government shitloads of money to provide a safe haven for them. It's like a halfway home, which, not knocking halfway homes at all. Like, by the way, just officially, they're totally fine. They work.
Halfway homes are not an alternative to felony violent assault.
Yeah, exactly. Like, this whole fucking community police reform. Like, I'm sorry to say this is an anarchist, but like, the whole fucking community justice thing, where instead of like sending criminals to jail, again, not advocating jail necessarily, we send, like, fucking therapists and social workers to their house, and instead of jail, they go to halfway homes, and it's just, like, this is what happens. And this is...
So the judge went to law school, never graduated, hasn't passed the bar, owns a halfway home treatment center, and then, systematically releases people and says, like, oh, if you just go to this halfway home treatment center,
you're good. You don't have to go to jail. Just behave. And people die. And this isn't even like the first time. This is not the first time this has happened recently or this year at all. Like, it seems like all we hear now are these stories, like all the time, of these like violent individuals getting released on these special programs and going out and like murking some innocent person.
Okay, going to another Colorado story. There was the guy who was trying to kidnap a little girl from an elementary school, and then was ruled incompetent to stand trial, and then they just released him because they're like, oh, we don't actually have a facility to put him in. But he's like, it was like that ashy dude that like literally looked like a zombie basically, that was trying to kidnap the girl in Aurora. Let me find this story.
I should reblog that we're live.
Kidnapper, not competent to stand trial. Solomon Galligan.
Solomon Galligan. Yeah, that sounds great.
No, and if you like if you were gonna his mugshot.
Jamie,
Here,
pull that up.
let me share your screen.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm
It's
sorry.
just so fucking comical. So comically bad. Oh my god. Yeah, man.
This dude is out there trying to kidnap little girls from a school, and then he's deemed incompetent to stand trial, and it's like, well,
That
I
is
guess
like-
we just have to let him go. I'm like, no. That's further proof that he needs to be.
That's like the caricature of a black person that the Nazis came up with in war propaganda, man. Like, what the fuck is this? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's like, why is this just like a story that you can read almost every single day? It feels like, why is it
happening
that,
like this? Yeah.
well, these these judges, like, they get these kickbacks for years and years, like, and they're not vested from like halfway houses and stuff. Like, a lot of times the lawyers and DAs and stuff are also in on it too. Like, I know personally of cases where, like, yeah, lawyers own big stakes in a halfway house, and they're charging. Not only are they like guaranteeing that they get like a steady stream of customers from the state of people pleading down charges or pleading down arrests so that they go to a halfway house or treatment center, whatever. But like, they're also just like billing the state for shit that's not even happening at the halfway center, like for millions of dollars and stuff like that. It's like they don't really catch it because it's so rampant.
Yeah.
And the whole legal profession treats it like a fucking jaywalking or some shit. So, between all these things, it's like, what do you do with like people who are not mentally capable of living in peaceful society? And there used to be mental institutions and stuff like that. They're really expensive.
Yeah.
Nowadays, especially because they were bad back in the day. Like, there was a good point to what's that Jack Nicholson movie?
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah, that's it. Where there's like Nurse Ratched and everything, where they're just
abusing
like,
the patients.
All the patients just getting constantly abused. But then, like, we have like the body cam footage, just constantly.
That is another thing.
CCTV
CCTV and body cams. Like, I remember being staunchly against that, and for good reason. I still am on like a moral level. Like, a surveillance state is not a good thing, but it was originally also pushed by advocates because they believed it would expose like all of these incidents of these innocent people being like wrongfully arrested or wrongfully shot by the cops. And like, more often than not, overwhelmingly probably, body cam footage usually like backs up the police story like pretty well. Like, there are those, this is not me defending cops at all, and like, I'm not, but sometimes we have all of this video footage of like this person just wigging the fuck out at these cops and charging them with knives or pretending to like suicide by cop or something like that. And it's like, oh wow, okay, wow, this is there's a lot of footage of this. Like,
Listen, if you, yeah, no, the thing is now we used to have like body cams were relatively rare, or it was like, oh, you used to have like a handful of like stuff caught on
yeah,
CCTV. Like
or like
America wasn't set up like Britain or Brazil is, where like
exactly.
there's just CCTV everywhere. One of my favorite channels on YouTube is Active Self Protection.
Mm,
You ever watch that a little bit?
no,
You know what I'm talking about?
is
Okay,
that?
so he's a firearms trainer.
Mm,
It's a team of firearms training people, and all they watch, they do breakdowns of defensive shootings, and like
mm,
they're professional guys. They do trainings for police and everything like that, and so they do all these trainings. But yeah, they do breakdowns whenever like shooting footage comes out, and it used to be there was like a trickle of content that came in on their channel, and
mm,
then now they're like really choosy. It's like every other day there was like something new for them to like do a breakdown on, and
mm.
they're like, oh, yeah, it's like, and it's a lot of badge cam footage and stuff like that. Or like there was a big shift around 2020 where it switched from like being CCTV stuff and like Ring doorbells to
Mm-hmm.
being mostly badge cams, and you're like, oh, yep, okay.
I would say too, a lot of the original footage we used to see was like dash cam footage, like from the police
Yep.
cruiser. Like I
Mhm.
think that's what the Rodney
I mean,
King
usually
footage.
they were mic'd up too a
Yeah,
lot of
that too.
times, or at
Yeah.
least there was enough audio from the dash cam that you could hear stuff that was going on. But like the badge cams are like, you just get this visceral footage of like that lady in the hallway with the knife just charging out of the
Yeah.
doorway,
Or
and
like that
then
dude that's like I don't remember his name, but he's literally like at this angle charging at the cops, and he's like ah, and he's like supposed to be
making
like
the
some
hot girl face.
yeah, literally a hot girl face, and it's like some supposed to be some community leader, and everyone's like, oh, he was like he would never have done this, and like they showed the video, and it's just like, oh, this dude is wigging the fuck out. Like I think it was drugs, admittedly. It's a lot of these situations are probably, but like dude was like
Well,
wigging,
and they
yeah,
talk about mental illness and stuff like that for like the girl on the
yeah,
subway and stuff like that. And it's like, well, okay, he attacked a very small woman
yeah,
from behind while she was completely unaware of his presence, and like, magically he wasn't just, he's so insane he didn't know to attack like some guy who was looking at him straight in the face,
yeah. Like the
right?
other like what was it, 5 people who were on the subway car, he was like kind of in proximity to. He didn't attack any of them.
It's so strange.
So weird how that happens. It's whatever. Um, man, I feel like so there's one story.
I'm gonna refresh my beverage. I'll be back
Oh,
in just a second.
all right, sir. Man, just one of those days. It's so different too when shit happens like up the road from you. Like obviously it's not that big of a difference because like I wasn't close enough that I was in danger of being shot by any means. But like it was close enough where it was like I found out about it like 5 minutes after it happened, and then I have a group chat with a bunch of guys I'm friends with around here, and like 10 minutes after he got shot, like they were already talking about it in the group chat because I actually like one of them was there in the crowd. Oh yeah, I've got more. There's these 2 kids actually came in later in the day, and they just came and like picked up like he was picking up a wedding band for his fiance, and they were talking about stuff, and like his friend is like pacing outside the door, and he's on the phone, and I can hear him like it sounds like he's talking to his mom or some shit. And the kid comes in, and I'm like, "Hey man, how are you?" And he's like, "Good, good considering how today's been, not too bad." And we're like, we talked about it a little bit. He's like, "Yeah man, I was just there." And I was like, "You were?" He was like, "Yeah, I was probably like my friend and I were like 30 feet from the stage when he got shot." And I was like, "Oh shit." And that was before I had even seen video footage of some dude on the roof, allegedly. They
Mhm.
were like, yeah, everyone said they saw some guy like run on the roof, and like
Mm.
I was just like, oh wow, okay, that doesn't look like the old white dude they have in handcuffs on the ground right now, but that's very interesting. Um, so I guess we'll see what happens with that. But it's just, man, I legitimately think like I'm good. I'm in a little bit of shock right now. I think Like
Yeah.
I'm just like I'm real spacey, and like I just from 1 second I keep losing track of what the fuck I'm talking about. I
No,
am
I kind of see that. I'll say just where like it's put me
yeah
is that like Charlie's a little bit younger than me.
yeah
Um,
yeah he's
and
yeah
we were both campus activists at the exact same time. Like when he's founded Turning Point USA, I was also there, and the student group that I used to run did events with Turning Point USA, and like we did have like Charlie, I think remote speak a couple times at events that I ran on campus and shit like that. But like the idea of like sitting on campus with like a plastic fold out table and a couple chairs with a banner
yeah and just
and having a couple books out and like inviting people to like chat and debate about political ideas, something I did for 4 years in college. And like alongside other people like Charlie, I was a campus activist. Wasn't exactly, he was more in the activist line and stuff like that. But
mhm.
I was in circles with people who knew him and stuff like that. And it's like, oh, he went down a direction like I thought I might go down when I was younger. And it's like, oh, if I had gotten famous doing that kind of thing, or like gotten prominent in the movement or something like that, like
Like yeah it could
not
have
saying
been
like it would have been me or some
it
shit
could
like
have been
that, but
it could have been
but
I mean
that's the thing is like Charlie. I'll be real, like when I was first doing campus activism, I was like, oh, like TPUSA is kind of like the Rush Limbaugh
yeah a little bit like
group, you know.
I think that's
And
what
I was
really
like, they're a little much like too mainstream Republican
yeah
for me. Like,
a little too mainstream, a little bit too towards the center. Like, I know personally when it comes to like my politics, and like, I obviously we probably disagreed with Charlie on most things as a matter of policy. Some maybe like more things than not. Like, we certainly are not neocons. He definitely was, pretty pro-Israel. But at the same
I
time,
think he was coming around on that
he
issue
was,
very
and there's some
quickly in the last few months.
and there's some
So to a surprising degree, to the point that some people are like, of course, there's people that'll blame
of
Israel
course,
and
but
Mossad
no,
for
I
everything,
saw
but
like
I'm like, oh, you know what? He was kind of changing his tune.
yeah.
Israel.
Like I saw a couple of posts and tweets where people were like people close to Charlie said that like Charlie said that if he turned on Israel that he was afraid someone was going to kill him or something like that. Which I mean it's after the fact now, so it's just like anybody can say anything they want. There's no way to verify it at all. But what gets me the most about this really is again I was talking about the heaviness we're all feeling earlier. It's that Charlie, especially for those of us that consider ourselves to be like on the far right, like way bottom right quadrant, for example, like all the way down here, like we're like Max and I are hanging out with Rothbard, okay? Like Rothbard and Hoppe, like that's where we are. And to us, Charlie is pretty like he's pretty center. Like he's right wing, but he's not what we would call radical or an extremist. He's pretty moderate. He's pretty mainstream.
He's Mitt Romney that doesn't apologize
Yeah.
for himself.
Yeah,
all the
exactly.
time.
Exactly.
That's like,
and like if this guy is going to get assassinated and people leftists, sorry to be a broad sweeping term, on the internet are defending this because of what he was merely talking about. That, I think, is what the heaviness really is for everyone right now. Is that this is a guy who promoted nonviolent conversation as a form of addressing political differences. Ultimately, that's what he really represented. He gets shot, and people are saying, good, death to fascists. If that's where we are now, this is... I posted a tweet about this earlier. This is like... I'm going to have to look this up. In Spain, right when the Civil War was kicking off, like right after the assassination of Jose Calvo Soledo, I can't pronounce his last name.
Solateto? Yeah, I know what
Solello,
you're talking
yeah,
about.
him. But this feels like what that is to an extent. We're not Spain. It's not the exact same political environment. Right and left aren't the same these days as they were then. All of these mitigating circumstances that I am fully aware of that to me suggest nothing will happen. I don't know. It doesn't really feel like a normal happening as far as happenings and not happenings go. It feels like we will, in years to come, look back at this moment and go, that's the moment where the conversation officially stopped. And I'm fully aware of the ramifications of what that means and what I'm suggesting. And admittedly, later today, I was pretty vitriolic. Like, I was, like, fully, like, open season on all leftists, like, bullshit. Like, that doesn't help.
Yeah, you gotta take like a couple deep breaths.
I guess, too, I was just, like, because it happened.
You can't be, like, typing out posts and then you, like, sit on them for a minute and be like, I'm definitely gonna get talked to by the FBI if I hit enter on that one.
But at the same time, it's like, oh well. There is a part of me that's just like, maybe it's time to actually entertain the idea of being as bad as the left thinks we are. And I'm fully aware that's a dangerous thought, and I have no intentions of actually following any path of that sort. But man, at this point, you do everything in your power. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna just make the joke that I have been following Sargon of Akkad for a long time, whose real name is Carl Benjamin. He's in the UK, and every time he speaks, he's like, "We are fully committed to the democratic process and peaceful the power in the United Kingdom."
Which,
like, every time he speaks, he makes sure to say that.
Of course,
and I'm like,
of course.
No, he's completely right to continue to say that.
Yeah.
But man, I don't know if you deleted any posts or anything like that.
I haven't
today. Well, I didn't see anything
I should
over the top.
No, I'm not going to delete anything. I'm just at this point, like, I'm not actually calling for anybody to be specifically hurt. Like, it's just at this point, if not even Charlie is safe from an assassin's bullet, and again, I don't particularly care for what his political positions. In general, we disagreed on a lot of things, but if he can't even just have a fucking conversation with people, if this is really the point where it is, and these people and other people are so convinced they are so right that shooting this non-violent individual is a good thing, like, what are we doing sitting here still trying to have a peaceful conversation? I want to have a peaceful conversation. I don't want shit to happen. Like, this is the thing.
That is what we do when we go on this podcast.
Yes! The whole point is talking this out, because how many times have we said, like, people don't really understand what they're asking for when they're asking for the Boogaloo or an apocalyptic event or a civil war. Like, people don't understand how bad it really will get, and they just keep doing it. And at a certain point, like, we're not there quite yet. But if we were there, how would it look any different? Like, maybe it'd be more violent, which I don't want to happen. Hopefully shit cools off. But if this keeps happening, like, Trump, they almost tried to kill Trump twice. They tried to,
They got really damn close.
They got really close.
They got through his fucking ear close, and they killed one of his supporters right behind him.
Yeah.
And the thing is it didn't affect it. It cooled things down enough for the election to happen.
Yeah.
And then I think things just continued to ramp up.
Yeah.
Especially post, like, ICE going out. And because here's the thing is, like, the average person, like, in a Democrat city who's consuming all this media and then wants to see it that way can pretty easily tell themselves, oh yeah, like jackbooted thugs and armored personnel carriers are going around and arresting people, and like this is Nazi Germany
Yep.
or something like that. And they've been told for the last 10 years that it's Nazi Germany when this happened, or when anything remotely happens that happens in this direction. So it's like, you know what, like if you've been conditioned to understand this situation as that, like, it's kind of actually a relatively sensical understanding of the world, because like that is how we are conditioned through the entirety of our education and programming and everything like that, is that like, oh, this is the most. Notice how they never fucking like talk about like the US as being like a heroic defender of democracy and liberal values in Vietnam
Yeah.
or Panama
Or
or
Iraq,
Iraq
or Afghanistan,
or
or
Afghanistan or anything
Iran,
like
or
that.
Syria, or
The
like
creation myth of this country's political system is World War II. It's that this is the justified war. We defeated the fascists that were militants trying to take over the world. The eternal Hun can't be contained, and that's why we had to occupy Germany until to this day, because we still have the base and everything
Ramstein.
like
Yeah.
that in Ramstein, and and in Japan and everything like that, and that we set the rules based order, and like it's the entire myth, because it's the last war that like has the like enough mythology to it still,
Hmm.
that like it can serve as a foundational myth, right? And I'm not saying that like World War II didn't happen or something stupid like that. I'm just saying
World War II is fake.
I'm just saying that like
D-Day was CGI. Sorry.
well, I mean, do you ever see that picture with Stalin and that one dude next to the river?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
But the World War II works as as the justification for the American empire. Everything
Yeah.
that follows is because we can't have World War II happen again, right?
Hmm.
And part of that conditioning is that like, hey, like fascists were evil to the point that we had to kill them en masse,
Hmm.
and like you see a Nazi punch a Nazi, right? And that just escalates into everyday society where my like okay example for World War II about how pervasive the propaganda and everything like that was. My grandmother was born to a German immigrant and lived in the United States, and her entire life till she died like 10 years ago, I forget exactly when, referred to the Germans as Krauts. She herself was German, like full-blooded German, like born to both German parents, and would still call them Krauts, and say it kind of the same way that you would use a slur for any other group. And I thought it was kind of weird,
Yeah.
but like that was the thing. Like her husband fought in the war, and was like, you know what? Yeah, they were on the other side. They were the bad guys. They were the evil ones, and that's like it's so material to just being American that like, oh, you had to watch Saving Private Ryan, and that was the good war.
That was
You
it.
did the
Right
right
there.
thing.
You watch Saving Private Ryan.
And
They
so
give
it's
you
like,
your
yeah,
card.
if somebody's telling you for the last 10, 15 years that like these people are Nazis, when it's just Mitt Romney that doesn't apologize for binders full of women.
Yeah.
But if you say everybody's a Nazi, yeah, they're gonna fucking start murdering you at some point. Especially the boomers, who are the kids of those people that fought in World War II,
Yeah.
who got raised on that shit. And like, okay, the guy who got arrested, apparently is not the actual shooter.
Supposedly not. Like
Supposedly not.
If we're talking about the old boomer guy who kind of has like the Bernie Sanders haircut, then no, it was not him. He was like the first guy who got arrested because he was right there, and they thought. I don't know. I don't know what happened, but I remember seeing that, and I was like, oh, is it him? Oh, no, it's not him. They're still searching. Okay.
Yeah.
So the guy is still at large, I guess, but like...
But okay, the last shooter for Trump was a older boomer
Was a
guy,
boomer.
right? And
Was a boomer.
it's that like 50 to 70-year age range right now, boomer, that grew up. Their parents were usually World War II veterans because everybody got drafted in World War II, and they they just believe prima facie, and it's like they got more anti the longer they spent as like a Democrat post Nixon, the more they went down that road of like, oh yeah, they watched Schindler's List and Saving Private Ryan, and they're like, oh, this is like exactly the
Exactly.
hero story that I need to recreate in my own life. If I can achieve my father's greatness of storming Normandy Beach, it'll be by assassinating Donald Trump on a golf course with a rifle with
With
fucking
an
host
SK.
clamp strapped to it.
With a shitty Bubba SKS. Oh God. Oh man. Like I at this point I don't want to ask what's next because that's the dreaded question. Nothing ideally should be next. This should stop
Can we
happening.
fucking predict the future? Yeah. No, we cannot.
No, we
fucking
cannot.
predict the
But
future.
there's no way things get better from this. It is the other thing too. Like this is not the last event in a series of
They
events.
will get better before they will get worse before they
They
get
will
better.
get worse before they get better. Yeah, like we're still team nothing ever happens. Like we're still going to work. Well, I'm off tomorrow, so maybe it is happening. But I go to work Friday. We're still going to work. I think life is going to continue, but like this, everyone's going to look back to this moment. Like this is what we joke about Harambe getting shot being. This level.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
the thing. Yeah, that is the thing. It's when we joke about
I also so
and it's what like when MLK got assassinated, it gave the left of this country basically the moral high ground for the last 50 years.
yeah.
And I don't know that Charlie Kirk is MLK because I don't think he cheated on his wife at all. Um,
Oh. Oh.
that was a bad joke. Um,
But
but like you can't kill somebody that's so identified with and just like walk away not having an equal level of grievance
so
because it's like when his political assassination actually worked is a genuine question. I would pose to history at the moment because killing Franz Ferdinand for Serbian independence
did not end
really
well.
didn't work for about 25 years, which what I would say didn't work at didn't just not work at the moment because obviously World War II required World War I to happen and stuff like that. But and even then Serbian or like I call it Serbian independence. It was Yugoslavia. It was a Soviet satellite for the first 20 years. So it was really like 45 years, 60 years. Did killing Franz Ferdinand fucking accomplish anything for the Serbian nationalist movement? I don't fucking think so.
Nah.
What's another prominent political assassination? Did the left-wing anarchist who killed McKinley, did he bring about left anarchist goals in the U.S.? Well, that was in 1903. We didn't get like a minimum wage or a 40-hour work week until the 30s. So like 30 years later. And what actually caused that?
Henry Ford.
Henry Ford.
Capitalism. Oops.
Okay. So that one didn't plan out. Okay. Let's keep brainstorming here. If you have an example, I'll come in and
Let's
say it.
see. Abraham Lincoln kind of comes to mind. Not to really compare Charlie Kirk with Abraham Lincoln, but like.
Oh yeah, no, Abraham Lincoln. You're a white national or supremacist from the South
Mm-hmm.
who wants, the slavery question to be, not decided by the Republican North
Mm-hmm.
or the abolitionist North, and so you assassinate the president. And what's the result? Abraham Lincoln's plan was to deport all the slaves back to Africa
Yeah.
to make. What did we get?
We got a massive African American population in the South. That's what we got.
So I don't think that one panned out either.
No, that didn't really pan out too well. What else? What else?
Okay, what's another? MLK. Let's believe the official story. Um, let's say you're MLK. MLK's assassin. You're white, another white supremacist in this case, and you're going to assassinate the civil rights leader because you don't like desegregation and the Civil Rights Act and voting. And what was the result? Oh,
Civil Rights Act.
absolutely. All of those things just
yes.
like completely steamrolled through, and then there was zero. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it seems like a political assassination is literally going to deliver the opposite results of whatever you were intending the assassination to be. Now the non case for this, I think, is with JFK. Did they ever have an official motive from Lee Harvey Oswald? Like, do we have a
look that up.
okay? Because I think Harvey Oswald maintained his innocence to the end, right? He got assassinated himself.
Yes, he did.
But people were saying that like his motivation, he was like a communist or something like that.
So supposedly, but apparently he So he did say Oswald was charged with the assassination of Kennedy, but he denied responsibility for the killing, claiming that he was a patsy. 2 days later, Oswald himself was murdered by local nightclub owner Jack Ruby on live television in the basement of the Dallas Police headquarters. So no, they never got a motive out of him as to why he supposedly did it.
Did they ever have a plausible motive?
That he was a communist, that he was schizophrenic, I don't know, like, Marine Corps.
Okay.
He did defect to the Soviet Union for a bit.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. He.
You think the Soviet Union would have a handle on their defectors, that they would not want to start a nuclear war by having their spy assassinate the president of the United States?
You would think, like, that would be a pretty big, like, especially since
Like,
JFK.
this isn't Stalin times. This is Khrushchev times.
Yeah.
Khrushchev's like got several brain cells.
Several
He
brain
loves
cells.
corn.
And exactly, he loves corn. Him and JFK had a relationship, like a kind of friendly relationship, like they were
Yeah.
able to work shit out, like they diffused the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Yeah.
So like
I think
things that pointed towards like them getting
this-
along and them both being alive and in power was good for both countries. So the Soviet Union had like no motive. My favorite explanation is that it was actually like a mob hit.
I am quite partial to that. I think entangled in the mob hit motive is that the mob and all organized crime, including up to today, is usually a tool of the deep state
Yeah.
to either get illicit funds and black funds so that they can fund operations, or to have the ability to exert control and have influence over areas where there's limited legal enforcement and stuff like that. And Sicario talks about this exactly, where you hire ex-cartel guys from another cartel to assassinate other cartel guys, because you want control of the drug trade, because when you control the drug trade,
Everything's cool.
you you can control you get the profits, and B, if you have a monopoly on the violence, like, it's way less violent, which are like, genuinely kind of valid interests for the CIA to have in the drug trade. To their credit, like everybody rips on Rick Ross and the CIA for doing the Iran Contra thing, but like to be honest, like they have a point when they try to do that. It's just like it's still horrible
It's
that
horrible, but yeah.
they it's still horrible that they're then going to use the money to just fund both sides of a war that at simultaneously, like just because
Because you want both sides to lose.
because we fucked up on the Iraq and Iran policy coups that we set up back in the 70s. And when we did regime change in Iran and in Iraq, and we thought we
Didn't
would
work.
be on top,
And
and it
we
didn't
weren't.
work.
Oops.
And so now we're just gonna like try to collapse both regimes in like a World War I style massive war, and we're gonna buy weapons off the books by using the cocaine trade. Okay, like the version in Sicario like makes way more sense, but when you realize like what the CIA actually uses the money for, it's way worse. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, just I mean, the mob has always the mob and organized crime has always been a tool of the spy agencies of a nation because they need people who have plausible deniability connections to the state and can do things illicitly and have those illicit networks to operate. Spies have always been criminal networks, essentially, in any country going back forever. Like Julius Caesar hired people to like had gangs in Rome on his payroll, like to enforce, political stuff and like fix the votes and everything like that. So, um, yeah, I agree with the mob angle. I just think it like still goes back to the CIA. Because the CIA was really upset with not being able to regime change Cuba at that moment.
Which, I mean, that's a valid thing to be upset about. The
Um,
Bay of Pigs was
and,
yeah.
and as far as like the CIA being able to um, coup the U.S. through an assassination, like they got their guy LBJ in, and then but not even like 8 years later, or whatever it was, I forget the exact timeline. 12 years later, they had to do another coup against Nixon because they were getting got by Nixon, and so okay, they had limited control, and they got to do Vietnam, right? Like a lot of people made a lot of money in the meantime. So okay, the only successful political assassinations I think are ones in the short term orchestrated by your spy agencies. I think that's the historical rule. Can you push back against that or confirm that?
No, I really can't. Like that's the logical conclusion. Is just
Okay.
it's yeah. So speaking of which, I did actually want to talk about it. I'm not saying it was necessarily a CIA back thing, but the citizens of Nepal did overthrow their communist government
Yep.
over the past couple of days. So that was some positive news.
People are calling it a color revolution. There's a certain faction of like anti-war libertarians that like anytime there's any coup in any country, it has to be
It has to be
backed by the CIA.
yeah. I mean, that's what communists say, or socialists say in general. Like, anytime you point to a failed communist state, well, the CIA just made them collapse. And it's just like, okay, so the CIA probably did work towards, like, the collapse of some communist governments. Other communist governments just fucking sucked because they were communist and just destroyed themselves. Like, that happens.
Yep, yep. Oh, Death Chilada asked what about Shinzo Abe's assassination?
So that was a different kind of thing. Actually, that's probably one for the political assassinations work category. Because he got assassinated by that kid because that kid's mother, I believe, was a member of the cult that Shinzo was either a member of or like lobbied for or something like that. And that cult literally
He's adjacent to it at the very
adjacent.
least.
And that cult like robbed all of his mother's money and by extension his inheritance. And it was probably the equivalent of like hundreds of thousands of dollars of like US dollars,
Yeah.
I think. And he built a fucking contraption out of scraps in a cave.
Was he built like the fucking double barrel shotgun from Bioshock?
He did. He built a doohickey, man. And he Wazemborfed Shinzo, and Shinzo died. And the Japanese government actually wound up investigating the cult as a result of it, and I think they shut the cult down.
Yeah, I don't know if there are any other political beliefs that guy had, that he would go after Shinzo. Shinzo, so like people probably don't track Japanese politics that closely, but of what I understand of Japanese politics is basically since World War II, Japan had its like constitution rewritten to mirror the U.S. Constitution, except they have an emperor sitting in the background for some reason. And then the CIA basically intervenes or like guarantees that the liberal Democrat Party, which is basically like a center right Democratic Party, compared to the U.S., like it's like U.S. Democrats, they'd be considered conservatives in Europe or the rest of Asia, but they're like, okay, we're gonna have like a social safety net, but like we're generally like mostly open to trade and industry and government subsidies and everything like that. So yeah, think Truman or like I don't know, even LBJ basically levels of government domestic policy, but they have been very, very anti-immigration restrictionist this entire time. And then they started to liberalize their immigration system the last few years, but now there's like a huge reaction against that. So I don't know if Shinzo's assassination has factored into that, but Shinzo was very much like of the opinion that that the Japanese should have children out of their way of their like welfare social security cliff and not just import foreigners like Germany and
I miss those memes, the have sex Shinzo Abe memes. I'm going to be real with you, Prime Minister of Japan, Shinzo Abe. This will not help Japan's declining birth rate.
But the thing is, it slightly did.
It did a little bit.
Not all the way. It didn't get all the way there.
Just a little, just a little push.
I think the thing is, it's like Japan has been overpopulated for the last century.
Yeah.
Like when you get to the level of automation and mechanization of society that Japan has, like you simply do not need as many workers to make the same amount of output, and there is like kind of a theoretical cap to like how much iron and coal and gas and refined products and microchips that you can make in a country.
Yeah.
Given like the theoretical, geography and everything like that. And so it's like their GDP's been mostly stagnant, and part of that's like their monetary policy. They've had like basically the fediest Fed of the world as far as inflation goes. But yeah, where was I getting at with this? I think in 30 years we'll see that Japan, even today, if you just look at fucking Japan compared to the average U.S. city,
yeah,
you would on paper say, oh, Japan has a GDP. What is Japan's GDP per capita? GDP per capita, Japan. $32,475.89. Okay. Interesting. What is the GDP per capita? GDP per capita of Mississippi. Mississippi nominally has a GDP per capita of $53,061. Now, are there high-speed trains in Mississippi? Are there nuclear plants? Are there microprocessor factories in Mississippi? Are there huge trade ports in Mississippi? Are there world-renowned Michelin 3-star restaurants in Mississippi?
Hmm.
Are there amazing resorts for skiing and surfing and hotels, luxurious hotels that are again worldwide destinations in Mississippi?
I don't think so. I
Wow.
could be wrong, but
But the GDP per capita is $20,000 per person higher
hmm,
in Mississippi than it is in Japan.
interesting. But everyone knows that the higher GDP is and the more GDP goes up, the better things are. GDP up, economy good. That's the
My
rule.
favorite analogy about GDP that I've ever heard was there are two economists walking through the woods. Tell me if you've heard this one.
Yeah.
You have?
No, I haven't. Continue. Sorry, I was agreeing with you that I'll tell you.
There are two economists going on a little hike through the woods, and they see a pile of bear shit next to the trail. And one economist looks at the other and says, "Hey, you know what? I'll pay you $100 if you eat a piece of that bear shit right there." And the economist looks at him and says, "You know what? I'll take that. I'll eat a little bear shit. Give me $100."
Mm.
So he does it. Eats the bear shit, and they gives him $100, and he laughs about it, and he says, "Ah." And then they keep walking down the trail. And comes back, and they're on their way back, and he looks at that same pile of bear crap, and the economist who ate the shit looks at the other one and says, "You know what? Why don't you put your mouth where your money is? Why don't you eat a piece of that bear crap for $100? Make your money back." And so the first guy leans down and eats a nice big chunk of bear shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gives him his $100 back. And the first economist says, "Wait, both of us have eaten bear shit, and none of us have actually gained any money." And the other one looks at him and says, "What are you talking about? You're completely insane. We raised GDP by $200 just now."
It's excellent. Man.
Hopefully I didn't butcher that story, but it's yeah.
Well, I was actually
If
going to
you-
say, you know what Mississippi probably has a lot of? Bear shit.
Are there a lot of bears in Mississippi? I feel
Oh,
like
fuck,
it's
no,
not
I don't
bear
know.
place.
Hang on. I'll look this up.
I feel like
There's-
the mountains might be bear places, but Mississippi's not really mountains. Like maybe like Georgia and like
Oh, yeah, they have black
North
bears.
Carolina. I mean, they have them, but like how many?
Also, hey, miss, are you from Mississippi? Do you know this one?
No.
Okay. Are you from Mississippi? Because you're the only miss who's pissed all sippy.
I'm gonna use that one. You know what brain rot is constantly infected me is the like she blank on my blank until I blank in her blank.
I did that to my jewelry shop today to try to lighten the mood. Like I was picking up a bunch of jobs from the shop, and like we read them off by last name, and like I can't say the last names, but like they were kind of funny. So I was like, she blank on my blank till I blank, and everyone was like, ah. Mississippi has between 150 and 300 black bears.
Oh, that's nothing.
Yeah.
There's that many black bears in my fucking county where I live.
Okay, so there's not that much bear. Damn,
There's not a lot of bear shit.
not a lot of bear shit, man.
Anyways, I can genuinely believe that the average Mississippian consumes a lot of capital.
Yeah.
Like they drive like a big ass expensive truck,
Mm-hmm.
and they probably live in a big ass expensive house.
Mm-hmm. They got a boat.
And they got a boat, yeah, and they but I just don't believe that their quality of life and their purchasing power is genuinely surpasses like a person making the median income in Japan.
Yeah.
I think the person in Japan can buy higher quality goods, more of them, than the person in Mississippi.
Most definitely.
Um, yeah, I think Mississippians have a pretty good treatment of GDP and how government pads those numbers out and everything like that. But yeah, where was I getting with this? Japan, at the end of the day, we will see that it was basically overpopulated, and that like it'll be really nice when I think there's 180 million Japanese people right now. It's 124 million. Sorry, 124 million Japanese people right now, and you know what? If the birth rate's down to like 1.2, what's the TFR? TFR 1.2. Yeah. So what is that? Basically, it won't quite have, but it will go down to like, I want to say, I can't do the math on my head right now. But okay, say there's 90 million Japanese people in 20 years or something like that. Is that like the end of the world for Japan?
No.
Or will it be really nice that there'll be small mountain towns all over on a volcanic peninsula with like ski resorts and like beaches where you can get world-class waves, and then there's like huge ocean full of fish that you can get amazing seafood out of, and then the average farm, you don't need 99 farmers to every noble anymore. You need one farmer for every 99 worker. And look, there's some engineers working at fucking Mitsubishi making a fucking like Gundam, and like I don't think it's like a big deal. I think it'll be fine.
What would you rather have, more GDP or Gundams? I know what I'd rather have.
Speaking of which, I watched one of the new Gundam movies last night. Gundam is the Hathaway. It's like an alternate timeline apparently, which is like fine. They're like branching out. They don't want to like rehash the story. I get it. Whatever. It was surprisingly good. It's on Netflix if you want to give it a watch.
Right.
So Gundam Hathaway. But part of me also the entire time as like somebody who pays attention to economics. Oh, he's holding on to the mic. Those little yellow eyes in the black. He's just a little shadow in the dark.
Yes, he is. He's a very talkative shadow, though. Like, I can't always see him, but I already know where he is because he never shuts up. You're always talking.
Yeah.
1-800
Miss my cat.
talking. Yeah, I'm sorry, man.
I know. I've been dealing. It's been a couple of weeks. I'm mostly over it. But fucking, what's he just talking about? Gundam. It's a good movie, but also it made me constantly question, like, wait, if these rebels, like tried to overthrow the government, can afford multi-stage orbital rockets and like custom giant mechanized robots, like, what the fuck are they complaining about?
Yeah, right.
Like
what are you spending your money on, man? Like it's like it's the drill tweet. Somebody please help, my people are starving. Spend less money on death machines. No.
Spend less money on multi-stage orbital rockets that can go to Mars.
No. A post.
All your rebel issues would quickly resolve themselves if you like. Oh, it's really expensive to get residency permits in the nice places of Earth. I think like you could afford that pretty quickly.
There's a post that just rolled across the dash that we're gonna go back to the Charlie Kirk thing for a sec. I think it actually also really summarizes it. It's like one of the saddest aspects of his assassination is that he wasn't one of those right-wing grifters who branded himself on getting liberal tears. And basically, Charlie invited anyone who disagreed with him up on stage to give them a platform to speak and debate. He listened to them. He had honest conversations about their
Mm-hmm.
differences, encouraged them to reach their potential and dreams, genuinely cared for all of his countrymen and women regardless of their beliefs, to the point that, which is, I would say, is pretty true about him. Like, again, I don't agree with a lot of his politics, but like, there aren't a whole lot of people who will willingly put themselves out there and just let anyone debate them on ideological viewpoints, who has actual honest
On camera.
conversations on camera for everyone to
Yeah.
see. And to the people celebrating his murder, he was one of the last conservatives willing to have conversations with you, which, again, from a right-wing perspective, especially like an authoritarian right-wing perspective, and you're kind of past like the whole let's talk it out stage, like, you would probably be like, Charlie, why are you wasting your time with these people? But at the same time, you'd be like, there is somebody who will have conversations with the left and like try to find middle ground. And this is what he gets. And it's like, basically where we go from here is your average person who sees themselves as a right winger suddenly actually being in this viewpoint of, oh man, we're really not going to be able to talk our way out of this. Like, there's no negotiations, there's no middle ground we're ever going to be able to reach where we're going to be able to coexist in the same country, and I can go out and not reasonably fear for my life from getting shot by somebody who disagrees with what I have to say politically. And again, you have all of these people on the left who are calling him a fascist and like all of this shit. And again, as an anarchist, I'm not going to say that like we don't disagree on a lot of points. Again, he's very pro-state, and I'm not. And I considered him to be too soft as far as right-wingers go. Like, I appreciated what he did. Like, the platform he used and how he went about things was very respectable. But he was a moderate voice who called for reason and conversation. And I know I've said this earlier in the podcast, but like, if we can't even have that, if these people will not even settle for that, and that to them is worthy of like violence, then everything over and beyond that is also marked. Like, that's the bar that's set. So if you consider yourself an individual who is right wing, who has conversations with people, friends or family members or whatnot, where you have a conversation about politics or a debate or an argument or whatever, you reasonably have to think in the back of your mind now, and you have to think about the people you are around, who you are with, who identify as leftists and espout leftist beliefs. And again, this is not me necessarily trying to paint with like a huge broad brush or say all leftists are like this. But you have to seriously consider whether or not this person views you as an equal and somebody they can actually have a conversation with, or does this person view you as some statistic waiting to happen, and in their minds using force against you to get what they want is applicable if the ends justify the means. And for a lot of people, I feel like this is going to be a difficult thing. And I feel like a lot of people on the right especially are going to take a massive step farther right, and a lot of bridges that would have otherwise existed before this are not going to be there anymore. And there's going to come a point where, I'm not saying we're going to have like a civil war, I hope not, or there's going to be like sectarian violence, I hope not, but like, as the title of the episode suggests, something is bound to happen at this point. And it's, again, we're past the point where like most people believe we can talk our way out of it. Because I would say up until now, most people, including myself to some degree, and Max, I'm sure you'll probably share this sentiment, believe that most people aren't that different. Politics really shouldn't influence our lives this much. And at the end of the day, we are all capable of living together civilly. For me, that's different now. Like, I still don't, like, not feel that way. Like, I do believe a civil society is possible. But my scope of, like, trust is really, like... Because if you think about it, about the shit I say, and we say, we'll make jokes about minorities or whatever having higher crime rates, we apply that logic to political thought. And what, again, the difference almost becomes like, what is the difference between that crazy dude on the subway and your average leftist who, when pushed into an ideological corner, starts calling you a fascist? Like, what is the difference, honestly, between the fact that one person you might be actively engaging in conversation with and the other one you're not engaging at all? You're just sharing a proximity with them and they lose their shit and stab you. Like, how can any individual on the right wing who has certain biases or beliefs about certain groups of people not see this and just go, okay, we tried. We're not trying anymore.
Unlike other things, like being a leftist nominally is supposed to be a choice. Like, we have a freedom of thought within your
Yes.
mind that you possess. And if you identify as that thing and you identify as saying political assassination or people who are, you know, right of Chuck Schumer, because I'll just pick the most right wing dude in the fucking Democratic Party I can think of. Um, it's gonna be you're like, oh, okay, so yeah, you're just saying that, like, that's the them's the rules now.
Yeah.
And the thing about democracy is it's always described as the worst. It's the
The best, worst form of government.
what did Church? I'm trying to think of the exact Churchill's quote. It was basically like, it's the worst form of government, but it's still better than all the others.
Yeah, something like that.
And what he was meaning by that is, or what I interpret that as, is that basically all changes of political power are a civil war in senses.
Yeah.
Democracy allows you to have a civil war that, instead of actually being like real physical violence all the time, there's still violence in democracies, political violence, but it's subdued to a sub civil war level. It's like a low level Cold War conflict. Like, there's flash ups and stuff like that. But generally, what you are doing is you're just doing, like, okay, we have a head count, and we're gonna try and do the head count. Whoever wins the head count, we're gonna say had the bigger side, and would have won the war.
And we all just agree
And
to
so
this.
we're gonna say truce for 4 years, and then we'll try again another 4 years, and you can do it. And maybe through this competitive system, we can discover who's gonna, like, win, or who has the there's a certain validity even in a political realist sense, that like, if you were to go back to, like, the ancient origins of Germanic democracies, which was the thing, you would have the warrior males of a society arranged to say, hey, we could split our forces and do both of these raids, but, like, let's pick one raid to do, or more or less, in sense, or who's going to be our war chief and stuff like that. Which is more or less the origin of modern Western democracy, is the German thing, or Germanic thing. And I'm not saying thing is in generic. I'm, like, literally mean thing is the word for it. And so, yeah, I
Wouldn't they also have their thing on Thursday?
But yeah, I see. If the rules are, it's like, okay, we've given up on debate. We're going to assassination now, which seems it's a clear pattern. It's like fool me once, okay, that could be a lone wolf.
Yep.
Fool me twice, okay, maybe it's a copycat.
Maybe it's a copycat. 3 times.
3 times, won't be fooled again.
You won't be fooled again. You can't get fooled again.
Can't-
Like, who really... Like, this is the thing. Like, I can think of all of these people who would normally go out and, like, have conversations or tour things. I'm not going to say that's going to stop, but, like, who in their right mind now? Like, even on the left, you have to now, while gleefully cheering for this on the left side, you have to now think, oh, wait, we just assassinated a major political activist on the political side that believes everyone should have a gun. What's going to happen to us? Like, does nobody have this thought that the right is just going to continuously take things like this forever? Because historically, that has not happened anywhere. Like, neither has the left continuously just taken things and sat down.
Well, let's pretend that arguments don't matter and that we can just base our vision for history off of historical precedents, and that's to say that if you have an agricultural-based society, you will get a left-wing revolution towards communism from time to time, a la Russia and China and Cuba or whatever. But historically, if you have even a modest amount of capital in your society, you might temporarily get a leftist revolution, like in Italy and Germany or Spain. But long term, what you get is a right-wing autocracy.
Unfortunately.
In Italy and Japan and in
Spain.
Germany and Spain and Argentina or whatever. And so, yeah, I think, if we're going to look ahead to that, like the U.S. is too rich to have a communist revolution. And I think leftists don't realize that. They don't realize that no genuinely left-wing revolution has been sustainable more than a handful of years in any society that is majority of its production occurs through manufacturing or services, not through agriculture. So and I could look at the statistics. I think it's 100% that one way or the other. So yeah, the inevitable train at this point is that if the left ever pushes too far, you would expect that you're just going to get a right-wing dictatorship at some point.
Yeah.
And it's not like this is like a contest of wills. It's like a historical fact going back to the Roman Empire. Like ever since there's been any form of pluralism in any political system or complex societies based on trade and states and anything like that. Like it's universally observable.
Yeah.
So even the case of China, right? Like China, the Communist Party took over while they were an agricultural society. They managed to successfully industrialize. And, if you were to look at the economic policies and cultural policies of the CCP of today, it would be absolutely indistinguishable from Nazi Germany. So, it's just like, are you rich enough to be Nazis at a certain point? Why is it that way? I kind of fucking hate it, but whatever.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, what a day.
Yeah, we didn't even discuss all the other shit.
Yeah, man.
I mean, we texted for a minute about the other stuff, but yeah.
Yeah, we did a little bit. It's just shit, dude. I did think it was funny, though. So, I was in contact with my boss and my V. Oh, yeah, I think I already mentioned this a little bit, but I talked to the VP today, and they literally were like, thanks so much for keeping a level head and keeping everyone safe in the store. And I'm just like, you're welcome. All I did was lock the front door and send a text to my managers saying, hey, this is happening. That's it.
Yeah.
I didn't do a damn thing. We sat around on our phones all day because no one wants to go outside when there's a fucking assassin on the loose, apparently. Oh my god, yeah.
At least, hey, the higher ups thought of you guys.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like,
something.
I'm already, as any good capitalist, I'm already angling for a pay raise. Yeah, I kept the store safe during the great Charlie Kirketing of 2025. Raise, please? I'm sorry, Charlie.
Money, please.
Oh, man. Oh, if I haven't already said it as well, you should probably go out and buy ammo. Ammo, medical supplies. Yeah, just have that on hand. Specifically a tourniquet. A good tourniquet. Do research on it. I would also consider taking a local EMT course. That might not be a bad idea. It's a couple $100 and 2 months of your life, and you're gonna be glad you took it. Also, yeah, man, like, just especially the next couple of days, I'm gonna be strapped.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. We have so much more to discuss on this as
we
time
do.
goes on.
We do.
We
Yeah,
got it. There's like the whole campus carry angle.
yeah.
There's other stuff, but yeah. Anyways, we should probably wrap it up.
We should. We'll see what condition the world is in. Next week, we'll see. My work schedule got rearranged a little bit, so we'll see about next Wednesday.
If there's another day of the week that does work, just hit me up.
It might be Friday. We'll see. We'll see.
Well, good night, man. Just take it easy, because yeah.
Oh, don't worry. I got all the vitriol out. I'm not making any credible or specific threats towards anyone or anything. I was just putting it out there. Like if you support this, like it's open season on you. Unfortunately, and here's the thing: it's not going to be me. It's going to be some other fucking right wing fucking lunatic that I probably think is a little too extreme and edgy and like this is just where we are. We're gonna have our crazies going back and forth for a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But everyone, we hope you stay safe out there, truly. Don't do anything fucking stupid. Anything you do, we do not endorse. We do not endorse anything at all. Nonviolence and discussions. That's what we endorse. That's all. Non-aggression principle, motherfuckers. We're anarchists at the end of the day. Stay safe, stay healthy, and, as always, taxation is theft.